Mhm. Oh, yeah, I slept for like a day. It was weird. It's weird. Ugh. I lost my streak on going live, like days upon days upon days upon days. I think it ended like 12. This wasn't bad, but I think now that it seems like we thought of a name and everything else, that we're gonna slow everything down quite a bit. No, 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 you're mistaken, ma'am. That's my baby, obviously. Lies. She's delirious, my people. This delightfully adorable child is obviously my own. Obviously. I mean, the child does not have red hair. The child has like dark brown hair or light blondish or dark blonde hair, or like a light brown hair, and that's just more, connected to me, obviously, not you. Ah, duh. And I mean, I've even got a much more logical story about why his name's Jason, and it works better for me than it does for you. So, I mean, what would you do? Just like name your kids something that you like have no direct connections or anything to? That'd be weird. Me, that's like my favorite horror movie. So, yeah, of course, I would pick that name. Duh. And ma'am, you know what we do around here. Don't make me dox you. I'll do it. I will do it. Far better than I did last time when I didn't realize. I haven't seen, but no, couldn't verify that for the life of me. No, no, no. She's out of her mind, people. Too much. No, Jack, no idea, no clue. She's delirious, people. She's one of them crazy fucking Delphi people. I'm telling you, bro. I have not heard from Miss Hebby in like 3 days now. That's like insanity. So we're gonna have to send out the players and search crews and everything else today to make sure she's okay. But obviously, normally I'd have to worry about 2 people, but thankfully the other one's knowingly always talking to me. No, I'm just kidding. She like right now in the chat, she's the only one talking to me. Yes, agreed. It's been, I guess it's been 3 days. I mean, since I've talked to her, I've been reaching out for like yesterday and today and like the late night before that. And that in itself is just too much. I mean, if she's mad at me, well, that's fine. She can take all the like lovely time that she needs. We all understand. I'm a pain in the ass. And we'll go from there. But I'm so skilled and awesome that I can worry about multiple people at the same time. As far as I know, I've already been up your ass left and right most of recently. So yeah, I think I know what's going on where in regards to Mandy. So yeah, I need to continue doing that while I figure out what's up with Heather. And my big news of yesterday was just being invited to a new Discord. Speaking of which, probably in the next 3 or 4 days or so, maybe even less. Probably on Thursday. Everything seems to be happening on Thursday. Right? I plan on having the next Heatherathon on Thursday again. And I do that for a specific reason because I'm awesome like that. And you don't need to fucking know if you don't already know. Period. Okay, check. For 2, I'd like to give the community a safe space while it's very small and it's about to blow up and there's going to be many more people than you think on there. Yeah. Because I'm irrelevant. Yeah, I'm irrelevant. So, yeah. And, of course, I got to give out the news. My awesome new baby. His name's Jason. You see him in my avatar. Isn't he cute? Yay. But, yeah, I'm starting to write up the scripts and all that stuff for actual, I guess it's a podcast or something. While we're throwing around some ideas still. You are. You're crazy and you're a pain in the ass. How much you get offended just because I said that? Seriously? Anybody that knows me, even you quiet lurkers that just freaking, I don't even know why you're watching in the first place, mind you. That's a great. Yeah. I didn't know about the whole snake being line thing, but since I'm allowed to go in there, and props asking everybody like, why does Charles have me blocked at the moment? Listen, Paul, if you happen to be listening, I don't block people anymore, friend. What I do is, when you're being disrespectful or something to me, I unfriend you. That's a message in itself. Like, now you have to request to be my friend again, and I have to think about it, consider it, and process it, and decide whether or not I choose to be your friend at this moment in time. But there will probably be a delay. But usually, what occurs from there is that's a wise message to you that literally means, hey, you should think better on how you speak to people sometimes. Just saying. I love everybody. I have no enemies. Right. I know, Mandy. Isn't that a big fucking deal? It's like, I don't need to block y'all. I just unfriend y'all on Discord, okay? Because honestly, you could be like, you could run up to me and smash something over my fucking head and break glass all over me. And depending on what the reason is, no, not even really depending on, just depending on your mood, your reason, whatever else, it's got to be pretty bad for me to fucking be like, okay, we can't be friends anymore. Mm-hmm. It's like you're so close to being. It means being unfriended means if you're actually on the same server as me in Discord, you could still message me and not be my friend. That's how my settings are set up. But here's the thing: majorly until just very recently, I basically told all the Discords and all that to fuck off. They always like, oh, we blocked him, this and that. Bitches, no, you don't. I'm fucking delightful. Everybody knows they want to fucking have me in there. You got tired of me fucking leaving and coming and leaving because I do what the fuck that I want. And when you don't like it, you try to tell me I can't come back, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. And then I never come back. You just look stupid. But recently, once again, I found myself in a couple of them. Well, not new or whatever. I'm not going to give up what they are, but yeah. Soon enough, we're going to have links and stuff of this Discord. We already have a Discord set up, kind of. Like I have it normal way set up, but I got to make it look snazzy. So I got to do a couple of last minute touches to it. And honestly, I'm kind of thankful that I waited because I was invited to another one yesterday, and honestly, whoo, there you should see the motherfuckers in there. I gotta get these bitches to come join it. Mine, shit. It's one of those ones that screams out, Charles, you can be here because you're fucking irrelevant. Yeah, they always sit up there. I'm hoping they're just my friends and they don't want to get in trouble because there's like all sorts of leaders and stuff that don't want people in their groups talking to me, which I completely get. I'm like a bad influence, like a motherfucker, and hmm. Bad role model. I'm fucking drama. I'm seriously always fucking drama. I'm figuring one or two, one's Fucko's group, one's Troll Farm maybe, and the other is maybe Mustang. That's what I figured. But I'm usually wrong. It's probably like two Troll Farm members. I'm not even sure if they like me or not. They're just watching me to keep tabs on me because who knows what I might say. I do, but if you want to hang out until whatever, I mean, I'm gonna inform y'all now today. If you hear, because you intend to make sure I'm not saying anything bad to about troll farm members, you need not worry. I have better things to do than insult my friends in the troll farm. Now, crankers should already know that I ain't got no issues with y'all already. Period. Because we chill and talk all the time and stuff. So don't need to worry. Derp Squad. I know I got these amazing ass fucking group names, don't I? Derp Squad members. Well, the ones I have problems with are your leaders, not you guys. So you're good to go too. So yeah, really, if there's somebody I have issues with, it's like nobody's means they have no group. or troll farm, which really I don't have any issues with the troll farm people either. I'd like to say hi to everybody, and since at one point, well, most of them are still my friends, to be honest with you. They just think I'm unhinged or going crazy or something like that, and it's not at all the case. Um, Somehow I magically plan things well in advance, and I always figured that at some point, if I ever got turned on, um, I'd have a smart way to return fire. And honestly, if you have a situation where you might end up facing some sort of criminal charges or possible things, if you were going to say or do something that gets you out of that trouble, you probably should document said event, just in case anybody tries to say later on that you did. It's common sense, I thought. But maybe that's why they're church kids. I don't fucking know. Mm-mm. I got more shit to think about damn near what live to have every night, what fucking thing to do, what to make Discord look like. Making sure my friends are all okay. I got so much to fucking worry about. It's not even fun. I don't know. People seem to tend to act like I'm a threat. I wouldn't really call somebody a threat unless they were somehow using offense. I have yet to do anything but defend myself. That's all. And yes, maybe you should be getting into the hospital today. Then hopefully we won't deal with her as much because we all know that she talks too fucking much, honestly. Or at least she types too much. I ain't even talked to her yet because people get afraid to talk to Charles. Charles is scary. But yeah, we might be slowing down the episodes and all that we were putting out as of recently. As I said, I'm coming out with scripts and all kinds of other stuff, and case just for us to talk about. But me and Diana probably, well, for sure, but we're still going to be going live playing FYI. But I'm going to start some sort of podcasting or whatever, or something, or making videos, or something. I have no idea. And we have an amazing lineup for the next Heather, fucking what's the Heatherathon, whatever the hell you want to call it. The lineup already set up is amazing. We have videos. Yeah, we're trying to decide if we're gonna go by like a case by case kind of thing, and just do like true crime, or as I was just asking her, I'm like maybe we can work on cases that have a certain psychological aspect to it and stuff. While she has a lot more than I do, of course, we both have degrees and stuff in psychology and stuff. Me, for fun and shits and giggles, and to understand murderers and stuff. And I don't think I ever asked her why she actually got hers, or I did, and she just didn't answer me because she's like very easy to distract, very easy. Sometime this morning, I'm going to try to reach out to the coroner department or something like that in regards to Lake County, Indiana, to find out any and all information that they will or were willing to provide to me about what happened with Cosmo, aka Samantha. Personally, well, I'm not going to divulge what I think on the matter. I'm pretty sure I kind of know most of the reason how. I don't know shit about why, but I think I can get an idea from asking certain people, which I kind of already got an idea. But there's certain particular details to me, obituaries and everything else, it just doesn't make any sense. But since I was the one that shut down the whole Well, you've been invited up here many times, Manny. Okay, I don't know either, but yeah, maybe nobody ever told you you could not come up here. In fact, you and many others were welcome to come up. Y'all just scared. That's all it is. As I'm told frequently about, I'm too scared. No, no, y'all too scared. I know there's going to be family shutdowns, and I know it also goes by state basis that they don't have to release a cause of death, and I might even have to have put in for a Freedom of Information Act or something. So it's going to be much, much, much a pain in the butt. I think postpartum depression, if I remember right, has a lifespan that goes about 36 months to about 2 years, I think it was. And anything beyond that, or I remember we were talking about it for another case about the lady who killed her kids and drowned them in the tub, and then she tried to kill herself on the front lawn, but she survived. And I remember hearing them use the whole postpartum thing at the time, and I was like, no, no, no. If the kid's like 2 or almost 2 or some shit like that, that's well beyond. And then I remember looking it up, and that it was still within the threshold. I'm like, hey, okay, it's possible. If she doesn't have a sufficient reason to want to get rid of her kids or this, that, and the other, her fiance had. Well, I mean, usually postpartum women or whatever are actually more more content if their kids get taken away. It's like they don't like it, but at the same time, it's causing problems in their mind, so they're okay with it happening and stuff. I don't know. I just wish I had seen those text messages and stuff that we're keeping to ourselves at the moment of time. Um, Back on the 24th or the 25th, as I saw them the other day, because I would have probably, yeah, I don't know. I just, yeah, that's some serious fucking red flags on there. Well, here's the weird thing. If you look at the obituaries that we have been provided, one has no information at all, right? While the other one from the exact funeral home does have her picture. Lovely looking girl, by the way. I didn't know that pretty people died like that, but I guess, it happens. And what else was I going to say? Hmm. At least eight. If you include the one that apparently died, that she had 8 kids. 8 kids. 32 years old, 8 kids. Now, mind you, it's definitely not impossible, but that's a lot of kids for a 32-year-old. I'm wondering if something got said. I mean, based on that information alone, I did at first doubt the whole obituary and then some. So I used one of those background check websites that you have to pay for and shit. And well, I mean, honestly, on the those websites themselves and all that shit, they do have a date of death and everything else. It corresponds exactly with the rest. And I doubt that you can just fake one of those things. There has to be governmental, things that are followed or whatever to get to that point. I guess I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna dig some more involving your name and stuff like that and find out what I find out. I did find out was some sort of thing that happened in January that also kind of shows that her identity and all that stuff are as she stated it was. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm downing her or anything like that, but you got to understand in this group or whatever, would not be the first time that we had people with fake obituaries trying to fake their death. Yeah, but I was the one that had not Holly. Shit, I forget what her last name was. Basically, it was Prophet Noe's friend Holly. the one they're always talking about. Something, oh yeah, because she got announced on the news and in court for Keegan Klein's stuff, that how much she was talking to him and all this other crap and blah blah blah, which everybody basically I thought already knew. But I think she said, she may have said something at the time or whatever that made people think that there's a possibility that she might do something to herself. And then the obituary popped up for Holly, and it looked fairly real. It had real information all over it and everything else. So it's not like something you could just pull out of your ass, by the way. These are things that normally you couldn't find 100% verified details of without, having access to one of those sites or whatever. And in the process of that, I was the one that ended up getting this obituary shut down a total of 3 times, at least 2. I think Noe or somebody claims to have gotten it taken down the second time, but I'm not sure. I know what the IP says. That said, the site sent me said this was the person that kept on uploading the obituary to make it come back. So each time I had to take them down, and I guess the time that Noe did, repeat days, when it was taken down, it got shot right back up. Literally, as soon as it was taken out, all over again. And at that point in time, I was able to get a hold of the staff that ran the damn site. And I told them, look, if somebody tries to upload that again, do not allow them or whatever, because it's illegal and it's bullshit. Yeah. Well, see, I have access to a whole different background check site than I do now. And when I looked it up on there, which I did this time, FYI, this time with Samantha, I was able to find that, yes, she was known as dead, right? So, I mean, on that exact date and all this other stuff. So that coincided perfectly on every one of these sites I checked. Then I looked up, back then on when I looked at Holly, I couldn't find anything that even talked about a death. So right away, I thought some bullshit was up in regards to that. And I figured that either somebody's trying to mess with us, or somebody's trying to mess with them, one of the two. And by how realistic it looked like whoever it was wanted to seem like that she was actually dead. But using the background check website or whatever, they have a number listed for a landline at the address, that's a specific address. I'm not going to say where or what it was. Now, using that information, I cross-checked everything off of Google with that address and that phone number. And I was able to find up a nurse, a website that lists specific people with specific jobs as specific references. And there I found the address and the phone number matching up to somebody named Holly. And I don't even know why I tried, but I called the phone number just to see what would happen. And lo and behold, Holly answered. You could tell right away because I've heard her and spoke to her before on occasions. Upon her answering, I'm like, yo, bro, you know that people are running around thinking you're dead, right? And I don't know what's up with Noe and them, but they think you're dead too, I guess, because they're the ones saying it online and stuff. So you might want to reach out and let them know, hey, I'm not dead, or something like that. And she said, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, have a good day, Holly. And she started to ask me who I was. And I'm like, it's not important. Don't worry. And then I hung up the phone. Because obviously, back then, nobody liked me. Or at least in this area or whatever, didn't like me. As I was a member of that group. Yeah. And we were the ones that proceeded to get blamed for the whole damn obituary. And I'm like, dude, we got better things to do than try to convince people that Holly's fucking. I'm like, maybe. I remember one time Snake made a joke about him passing away and stuff. And I'm like, guys, I'm going to make. And this was after the Holly one. I told everybody I'm going to make Snake an obituary. And on it, it's going to list off all these goofy, funny fucking stuff and all this other stuff. Like his living kids. I was going to put Jinx and, his mods and stuff and all that. And I just trying to make it sound funny or whatever, because they had made some sort of joke about him being dead or whatever. So I'm like, oh, gotta make him an obituary, just to be funny. I never made it, but it would have been hilarious if I had, because we were all still cool at that time. But the one we actually have for Samantha, the recent ones, one had barely damn near no information whatsoever. And then the one did, but this is the part that's like, what the hell? Like I said, the one lists her having 10 siblings other than herself. Well, once again, I've seen some monster-ass families, so it's not impossible. I'm just going to say it's very rare. I've seen an account, a lot of her accounts, and with something involving gypsies. So it's definitely not out of question that gypsies have large families with large amounts of siblings and everything else. So once again, I'm going to get ahead of myself. But then other than 10 plus her as being children for their parents, the amount of children for herself was 7 living, 1 not living anymore. Now, 32 years old, 8 kids, not impossible, just thought. That's all I'm saying, thought. On top of, 11 siblings for their parents that are living, and who knows how many may have passed away. These are some abnormally crazy ass amounts. That's all I'm going to say. Personally, I thought I had a lot of siblings. I got 3 siblings, and I thought that was plenty. No, okay, I had 2 siblings, technically, and then the third by adoption. And then there's me. And that seems like a fucking lot. Like, if we had more, oh Lord, which I was supposed to have a brother, thank you. It's sad. We should have had him. Got rid of my oldest sister. That would have been perfect. But yeah, we're trying to also do interviews and stuff like that, I guess. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I know gypsies have large-ass families with large amounts of kids and stuff. I would say, like, they're kind of like the Mexicans and the Latinos and stuff, because they have a large amount of kids, or the Mormons. These groups all have large amounts of kids, usually as many as possible. So I don't know. I do see that Gypsy is in her account name several times on the background check website. So, man. I'm not sure if the number I found that was a mobile and linked to her is actually the same number that others I know have been using to contact her. What I do want to do is also try to reach out to the number that they all have. Who knows? I mean, I don't know who would actually troll this girl and put her as dead when she's not or whatever. Plus, make it appear that way in the website. I find something weird about it that there's no newspaper articles or websites or news sites or anything like that, of which I do know that they have to do an investigation and whatnot on any fairly young person's death. That's not, if you can't explain the death around a certain period and they're a certain age, then they have to go through it. And yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily this is any reason to doubt all this, because unlike the Holly incident, everything I went through in this incident so far seems to ring true. Yeah. But yeah, anybody that's an actual fan and not a stalker, lurker, sneaker, hider, whatever the hell you want to call yourself, are more than welcome to put in ideas for cases that they would like me and Diana to cover and stuff. And even though we're probably going to be doing a podcast as well for the first episode, since we're trying to take our time with them, we can just as easily make like mini documentaries or something like that off of them. But the problem is, in just doing videos and stuff on these topics, in my opinion, to make a good documentary or some shit, you're basically either stealing everybody else's information and footage and making it your own by adding your voiceover and stuff like that to it, which I'd rather not do. But except for that, the only option you have is to literally be somewhere nearby that these things occurred. And right now, Diana is in one state, and I am in a really far away state from that. So we technically could take cases from each state and do it that way. But she doesn't like to leave her house, and I don't know how she. Yeah, popular isn't what I would call Florida true crime because we got all kinds of fucking crazy ass cases here that are solved, unsolved, the whole 9 yards. And I don't know. I guess it's not really in the news and shit, so I mean, we could start doing something that way, but I guess we could have it. We're trying to think of something to do psychologically wise. Maybe like the rapist guy who might be also a serial killer that might have dissociative identity disorder with 28 fucking personalities and stuff. We could do stuff like that. But then if somebody doesn't go to the place where these things are occurring, well, then it's just basically stealing footage and stuff off of other people and then incorporating it as our own because we have a voiceover and all that. Like I said, I would rather not do that. I mean, I was thinking about doing the Larry Hall case, and one I would like to work on, though, is in one of the states that one of us are in. But the thing is, Diane doesn't really like to leave her house. And I don't think I feel very well about sending her away from her safe house to a place where people have been murdered at. And, it just seems a little not very nice. It'd be one thing if it was me or me and her and we were both there, this, that, and the other. That's one thing. But I don't think I'm going to ask Diana to, there's in her state, I found that case that I call the 4 generations of killers kind of case, where the great grandpa was a murderer, the grandfather was a serial killer, his son, the father, was a double murderer, and then his son, the youngest to the state, has now been tossed into prison very recently for his part in a robbery homicide. So each of the 4 generations themselves have all murdered. And I always thought that it was interesting because it kind of coincides with the whole nature versus nurture kind of argument. And is evil born or is it created? That's the funnest part of the whole thing. But I don't even trust that game. How many people are watching and hitting your button because it said 0 like a million times, and people are still talking in the chat and stuff. I'm trying to get Diana to get herself more done with work and stuff earlier, so we can try to start doing earlier podcasts and whatever stuff. But but that has not worked out so far. And as I said, if you're part of our community, whatever, this week or in the next couple of days, even maybe even today, the Discord server will be done. And technically it's done. And it needs some tweaks to it and stuff, but it's basically done already. It's already got its first members in it and stuff. Even though Diana hasn't in it yet. But she will be probably today. And is that where you're from? I know all about Bell Guinness. See, when you're talking about serial killers, to me, FYI, you're like, I don't know, trying to tell the guy who makes Jack Daniels whiskey how to make whiskey. So, yeah, there's literally like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say all the serial killers because I'm sure don't know all of them. I'm working on it though, but I probably know about thousands of them, at least thousands upon thousands. You got to be a pretty crappy, well unknown serial killer for me not to know who the hell you are. Down to, I can tell you in which states were a serial killer that its occupation was a cop. There's only 2 states that had ones that are known that profession was a cop, and that would be California and Florida. Oddly enough, California has 2. Well, I mean, technically, California, I guess, only has 1. I mean, he didn't really take a break, and he was killing other cops. So I don't think we should really count Dorner. But we should probably cover his case too. I'd like to get more people to come up here and stuff, and locked onto a lot of other creators and such lately as well. So who knows? That's probably working stuff out too. But it's easier to do cases in other states and all that if you at least have 1 or 2 things I learned in the past, and that is A, somebody that's living also in that area, or B, what was B about? Oh, I used to do this thing in my old channel because I used to have like almost 1,000 subs on other thing and stuff before I started to make more stuff and stuff and all that. And one thing I used to do was, depending on who, well, first I would line somebody up to have a conversation with. On what, and I would use that person that I invite as a guest as a way to know what I'm talking about that night. So it's like when I had my boy Coach Kev on, he's a professional firefighter. He's been doing it for damn near 30 years and everything else. Very awesome dude and stuff. So when I had him come on, other than the lives we did with Florida Fire and stuff, because obviously it's Florida Fire. At the time we were yeah, that's what it was. Those California wildfires were going on, those real bad ones that some people were setting and shit recently. David Crowley. I mean, I know the name, but I don't know if I know the name via that. But yeah, there are some single off murders too that I find interesting, like Scott Peterson and Chris Watts and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's not like we're trying to just target onto serial killers. It just personally, before I did all this crap or whatever, it was like my go-to for whatever reason for researching stuff since I was about 7 years old. When I started with Jack the Ripper. And now, like 36 years later, yeah, it's still my go-to because I seem to know the most about serial killers. Even though Tracy seems to have my belt, and I never got a chance to have a match for it, which I'm very deeply offended by the way. Yeah. If somebody wants to come at me in true crime wise in trivia, bring it. Because I'm going to take my trophy back from Tracy first. And while she's weeping, I should destroy anybody that in my wake to victory. Yeah. But yeah, we got the Discord coming out. We're starting to record a podcast. I guess we're starting to make videos. Let's still, well, no, we definitely need to make videos and stuff. It's just like, it's a lot more difficult to do if we don't have footage that we like to use, say, as ours and such. I did used to have a friend. I wanted to do the Larry and Gary Hall case, and back a while ago, I did have a friend that was willing to let me use footage and get footage and everything else for me. But yeah, no, I'd have to look it up. 1 second. But yeah, I would take the person's occupation of who I was bringing on the show, and base it out like with I'm guessing it's not the politician, so maybe someone else. But I'm guessing it's Milwaukee. Death of a dystopian. The Crowley family murder. I mean, it's honestly kind of common. The first person to be looked at is usually the husband or boyfriend or the fiance. It's usually right. I thought they were talking about somebody else, but no. Alt-right conspiracy theorists think that the government killed the aspiring libertarian filmmaker David Crowley. The truth is far stranger. I want to say it sounds familiar. Is this the guy that kept saying they're coming to get me and stuff? And we're supposed to be making a documentary and all this other crap on conspiracy shit. He actually did get killed, but I guess the coroner and all that is trying to say it's like a suicide. Crowley had been a soldier in Iraq and Afghanistan. Afterwards, he had gone to film school. Yes, the Gray State guy. Yeah, I know who this is. And in 2010, he began writing a script that he called Gray State, in which a totalitarian foreign regime conquers the U.S. government and a band of patriots form a resistance. You mean like Red Dawn or whatever the hell that is? Yeah. On LinkedIn, Crowley described Gray State as a film about a near-future collapse of society under martial law. Somebody has been reading Kaczynski just a wee bit much. Just saying. Crowley's engagement with Gray State was consuming every little part of this project is me. Where's the crazy part that likes to kill your family? He recorded himself saying, in addition to writing 6 very different drafts of the script, he made 3 trailers, for which he auditioned, rehearsed, and directed the actors, drew storyboards, designed costumes, found locations, and got permits, and acted as the director of photography, overseeing as many as 4 cameras at once, and composed music and special effects. By FYI, if I remember correctly, he was having serious financial problems because of this exact thing that he was making. As if inhabiting the world he was creating, he periodically cut his hair in a mohawk and wore combat fatigues and body armor. Just saying. I'm getting vibes to your crazy business. Or maybe that's what the government wants us to think. Yeah. An actor named Damien Mason, who helped write the first draft, told me that Crowley would take him on hikes through the woods at 3 in the morning. We'd come to a clearing and he'd say, "See that field? Imagine there being a convoy there and fires in the distance." Okay, now what? I mean, this is about as bad as after this one hurricane we had. I think it was Katrina or something that came almost hit us and then came up and hit New Orleans and stuff. But afterwards, we started seeing these massive stacks of these plastic containers that almost looked like massive tubs. And they were piled up in these massive piles that were like 500, 600, 700 a pile. And everybody's like, "What the hell are those for?" And then other people were like, "They're for the bodies that they choose to, that they're going to cause for the mass burial grounds." I'm like, "Bitch, why are they going to have one big old why they just dig a hole and dump us in? Fuck the damn plastic shit. Seriously." And yeah, I mean, who's texting me? Oh, Miss Diana's little pain in my ass. Probably serves it. I'm talking to oh, it's not feeling well. It's not feeling well. Not feeling mighty, but feeling. Feeling well. With the W, not the L, obviously. Why would he be so mad? Would he be so mad at me? I wonder. Not wonder. Wonder. Yeah. Almost like the chick's name. Yeah, there we go. Do I have not that I know of, not that I know of. But yeah, I should go for password this HP might have it too. I don't know. You're supposed to be the one that keeps track of people's emails. I'm easy. I didn't even get a hold of Kira the last time. Shit. Which one? David Crowley? Oh, lordy. Are you sure it's wise to have a discussion on anything covering that topic? Because y'all get a little weird on your little conspiracy theories and stuff. And I thought I was weird about it because I'm just like, if I even fathom something, I call myself weird. But, not purely impossible, but it's just like, no, I mean, we can. I have no issue. I mean, it was like a long time ago and stuff. I remember parts of the case, wasn't it? I didn't remember that he killed his wife and kid, though. Huh, that's interesting. But then I thought about it a little bit more, brother, and I'm like, I think I do remember something about that. Well, I mean, I'm pretty good at checking the scenes and stuff. What doesn't add up? Talk to me. Because I had a lot of people say the same thing to me on another familial side regarding Chris Benoit, his murdered wife and son as well. And after going through everything humanly possible at the Benoit scene, coroner reports and all kinds of other stuff, and what Benoit wrote in each Bible that he left next to each victim, I was flabbergasted into wondering why the hell anybody would believe that this wasn't exactly as they said it was. Because it was, in fact, it checks out. They were like, well, he didn't die the same night they did. I'm like, actually, that happens all the time. In fact, you're probably going to I wouldn't be very surprised if the wife was killed the first night. The next night, oh, yeah, Chris Benoit fucking did it. He fucking did it. Yeah, for sure. If you know anything about that, then people were like, his buddy was a temple. He would not drink. I'm like, we have police records stating that he was pulled over for a DUI in front of his house, crashed into a bush in his car. And he not only was drunk at that moment of time, but he had still open containers and beer on him at the moment in time. So let's not say, once Eddie Guerrero died, Chris went downhill fast. Let's just be honest. And we had a trigger event and all this other crap, and so much to coincide. And we did learn from in the past that he for sure had abused his other wife and stuff as well. So, yeah. And what was done to not the boy had it pretty bad. Chris Benoit was nice to himself, but what happened to that man's wife told me everything I need to know about whether or not Chris did this or did that crime. Yeah, too. And he did have a little bit of, I say, a little bit of CTE. I don't agree with what they say and blame it on him now because everything I know, that's something else we can do. People that hurt themselves or others or kill themselves and others based on CTE. That might be interesting. Because we have all kinds of people that killed their family and themselves and all this other crap from sports, wrestling, all kinds of stuff that had signs of CTE and stuff, which is concussion, some. You know what I'm saying? And their exact words were, Chris's brain had the aging on it from An 80-something-year-old. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, that's saying a lot, but it's missing the signs, that correspond with facial fucking concussion shit and all this other stuff. And to me, it just doesn't match. It doesn't. Diane is telling me I shouldn't worry because she says that Heather probably did not see it. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll try to believe that, and I'll try to roll with that, but yeah. Who else is here? Fucking Dan. Who invited Dan, sorry ass fucking Jew? Nobody wants to see you, Dan. Get lost. I almost thought I was relevant until they invited your ass to the Discord. Fuck, man. Now I'm irrelevant again. Damn it. Yeah. Are you sure that's it? Because I thought, like, so, which I could be wrong because I'm not a doctor, mind you. You probably are correct. But I thought it was always something like concussion, traumatic, or blah, blah, blah. But you're probably right. Yeah. CTE stands for chronic traumatic encephalopathy. It is a progressive and degenerative brain disease found in individuals with a history of repetitive head impacts, often seen in athletes, military veterans, and others who have experienced head trauma. Now, see, that's weird because my brain scans and shit come up fairly normal. But I did multiple years of playing football and some of the vicious, violent, pretty fucked up football that you could ever think of, to be honest with you. I almost played college football, and just years before high school football, even I played on the streets. We played tackle football, and yeah, the worst thing that ever happened to me was like drugs. That's the what fucked up my brain the most. It tells me I should have done more, honestly. Another thing I'd like to start covering all the weird murders and shit that are connected to professional wrestling and stuff. Only because I find it interesting. I mean, at one time I tried to do it as a job. I got the training done, and that took like 2 years or so. And I think it was because of my knee or whatever, it wasn't taken in or whatever like that. That and I just didn't like much to do the talking thing. It's been years since then, and now I'm finally able to talk. But nobody wants to see a 43-year-old fucking wrestler, so yeah, that's just how it goes. But yeah, there's all kinds of cool ass cases and shit that either nobody knows what happened to the person that's involved, or they just literally have a murder and just don't know who committed it. Or in the cases like Jimmy Superflash Snuka and stuff like that, we know he did it, but he will never serve a day. Well, he's dead now, so we know he's not going to serve anything. Also, when it comes to wrestling, there's been several large fucking scandals. That when these scandals were occurring in the wrestling scene and stuff, specifically about WWE or other productions, a lot of people would come up dead, missing, or never seen again, and all this other stuff. And it's always been wondered if they weren't missing just because of these scandals that were going on. Almost like the Ring Boy scandal, where all these gay wrestlers, I guess, were raping like young male ring boys and stuff each place they traveled to. And that basically came to light because of a female referee suing Vince McMahon over sexual weird shit and all kinds of other stuff that he was attempting to do, which most people were just like, I didn't know about that. I don't know. Vince seems pretty normal to me. Well, fast forward to recently. If you know anything about what's going on in the news right now, you guess what? You're gonna find out. Yes, Vince McMahon's into some weird fucking shit, weird illegal shit, like making a lawyer who he thought was pretty into a slut, slave, whatever the hell you want to call it, and letting everybody and their brother bang her whenever they wanted and stuff like that. Basically, he was, I guess they were shitting on her and doing all kinds of fucked up things to her. Yeah, it's crazy. I guess he was talking to Brock Lesnar by the phone, and he was basically telling her he wanted to pee on her and stuff like that. So yeah, there's kind of all kinds of crazy shit involved with the whole WWE scandal that's going on right now. So honestly, involving that whole ring thing, oh yeah, definitely, I believe it. Definitely fucking possibility there. There's also, if you know anything about the Boys in the Tracks murders, which a lot of people in true crime do know about and stuff, but they don't usually know so much is recently somebody, well, actually, he's been involved in multiple murders himself, well, at least one murder since then, too, himself. But one of the witnesses that stood up and claimed to have been there in the last few years was a fellow by the name of, I forget his actual name, but in WWE or WWWF, which it was called at the time, and then WWF, which later became WWE. He was known as Blackjack Haynes, and Blackjack Haynes claimed to be at the site that night that the Boys in the Tracks were murdered, and that he was paid to help take them out and get rid of them and all this other stuff. Well, Blackjack Haynes starts, I guess, getting a little bit tempered and all this other crap, and eventually ends up murdering his own wife in real life as well. And now, I think he's dead himself now. If he's not dead, he's in prison. But before that, as I said, he claimed to be partially responsible for the murders of Kevin Ives and the other boy. And yeah, it's basically fucking toss-up. I'm sure conspiracy theorists are going to be like, hey, he didn't kill his wife. The WWE killed her, or the Clintons killed her to cover up for what he knew because he was talking too much. Well, I'm sure that sounds like it works in many instances for the conspiracy theorists. But if that was the case, then how come none of the other people have been made to shut up in any sort of fashion that's similar to that? Because there's a lot of witnesses that claim to be there that night. And of all people, it seems like Haynes was the liar of it because his stories did not match the witnesses that claimed to be there on their own. The ones that claimed to be there on their own, their stories rang true because they were all fairly similar in the way they were told. I was on a Discord yesterday, and people were like, "When's the next trial coming up?" Because they were trying to figure out this mega channel that's very popular. That's a friend of mine's. They like to do the whole trials day by day as the trials going on and stuff, especially when it's televised and all that other good stuff. And I had reached out to her to help with the Heatherathon because I wasn't sure if I was able to get any big, like, high-profile people. Of course, it changed very quickly within a day or so. After I did reach her, she invited me to a Discord. And, she still might be there, but I don't want to say that out loud in advance. But I'm sure she will at least share the link and all this other stuff. So she'll do something. Trust me, because my friends are awesome like that. But huh. I did notify them all that the crazy tranny cult Manson family people trials were starting in October, and I think everybody in the Discord was just like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "What?" My guys. I know I'm a weirdo and everything else, but there's no way in hell you went through the news and didn't see something about the trans genius vegan men turning women crazy, weird fucking case. The Zizians. I hate the name of it because it sounds so stupid, but the Zizians, yes. And I'm like, I tell you what, and she started to tell one of the people who didn't, had never heard of it, started to tell me, like, well, maybe I shouldn't look it up or this, that, and the other. I'm kind of, really into other cases. And I said, look, you don't need to hear me out. I'm just going to post their pictures to you. You look at how these motherfuckers look, okay? And look at them themselves and just tell me to yourself, like, I want to learn more about this. Because even seeing the pictures alone, you just see them and you're like, oh shit. Or whoa. And upon that, you're just like, maybe I could look this up. It shouldn't take long. But then when I added it onto the fact of also that they have charges being faced, 6 murder charges being faced at the moment. 6 members, 6 murder charges, one of which that's in 4 different states with other charges, 3 murders in 3 states, one of which being a federal border agent in Vermont. So we also have federal charges as well. And basically, just to really 2 details out, like, imagine a massive ass tugboat. And then I was like, more details to the story. So I'm like, the leader faking their own death. All kinds of crazy shit that's involved in that story. Because, I'm probably going to do a more deep dive into that thing when it's starting to go on. Because I think I know why nobody's talking too much about it. Because that group, the Alphabet Gang, or as people call it, because it makes people look at trans people in a bad light, which I don't think so. I think it only makes people look bad upon bad individuals. They do something, I guess, and not so much. But yeah, I think I told her it was like an 80-year-old something or other badass with a gun who gets impaled by a katana through the chest and has his eye destroyed in one side of his eye and of his head and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's just, yeah. You can't explain this kind of story to some people. They just need to read up on it. If they haven't, yeah. It's one of those things when you look up, like I said, they call them the next Manson family. And even though they're on the hot seat right now for 6 murders, including 2 felony murders of their own comrades, since they've all been arrested, I think there's a cluster of suicides that are also linked to these same individuals. From the leader of the trans cult of geniuses, vegans, and blah, 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 apparently caused 2 women to kill themselves. Now, I can't tell you if those are actual women or the weird women but most people, when I just post the picture of the known arrested 6 members, they use that as a sufficient reason to look into the case. Because if you haven't, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Like, I'm just gonna put it to you as it is. They're pretty fucking ugly. There's pictures of fucking like, what? It's pretty bad, bro. I'm just saying, it's pretty fucking bad. They make Caitlyn Jenner look like a supermodel, okay? It's already hot here in fucking Florida. I gotta go to a crime scene the next day or two and record once again footage of the area. I don't like being at that crime scene. Uh, I've been there before and it's not very fun at all. I'm turning on the fan because it's hot. But yeah, I don't know. I was 40 and I already lost my streak on going live. But I was hoping at least for 2 weeks, but I guess 12 days is better enough. I guess Mandy died somewhere along the way because she's no longer chatting. But yeah, I was just talking and shit or whatever and stuff. Unless somebody's got something else that they want to talk about, I mean, yeah, we can discuss the whole David Crowley thing. But yeah, I mean, the guy's saying people are out to get him or this, that, and the other. And I gotta look up the scene itself to remember how people were saying that it just didn't check out. But if you were smart enough, I think the instance where they said the Gray State guy killed himself and his family really more or less pertained to he probably wanted it to seem like somebody else did the crime because if I remember right, his documentary and all that was finished already, and they didn't have the funding to put it out. And honestly, an awesome crime like that, being linked to your documentary and stuff, might be just the thing you need to get the publishing and all that put in. But it's not going to work if people think you did. But that's all I know without looking into it myself again. Because this was a long time ago. What are you, like 12? Wasn't that like 2005, 2008, somewhere? At least early 2010s, probably. Was it? Okay, 2000. Yeah, it seems to be like early 2010s, like I thought. Right. Yeah, he was on Alex Jones. You know. We have people who are living in the Alex Jones world who know what's going on, and people who simply don't. Or maybe there's people that are in the middle that believe that some crazy shit goes on, and some don't, and that y'all are just really fucking psycho. Just Currently, his wife and his daughter were found shot dead at their home. Reports of their deaths appeared in the United States and abroad. The Huffington Post called Crowley a military man, and USA Today called him a filmmaker. The police determined that Crowley had shot his wife and child and then himself, but commentators on the internet began saying that Crowley's death seemed suspicious and mysterious, and that he had likely been murdered by government agents intent on preventing the movie from being made. I'm guessing there's nothing in that film that was any different than most of the other things that are being made and put out. Like I said about the plastic coffins and all that other stuff. Yes, he's a species of martyr. In January, the International Hacking Collective Anonymous, which declared war on Donald Trump last fall, posted a tribute to Crowley suggesting that the government killed him. A spokesman wearing a Guy Fawkes mask and addressing my brothers and sisters of the world said that the circumstances do not sound right. Okay, I'm waiting for you to tell me why they don't sound right, and not that you just don't think they sound right. Because unless you've got some sort of magically mysterious fucking researcher's capability as regards to suicide and murder is concerned, you need to shut the fuck up. That just means you're fucking ignorant on the fact of the thing that you're talking about. On Facebook, there's a page called Justice for blah, blah, blah. You're not telling me how it doesn't add up. See, you sound like you're working on the agenda here. Stick to the evidence, people. You're telling me more about the people who put up a website that says that he's innocent than why we should think that he is also innocent. And that in itself kind of worries me and makes me think that you're full of shit. Hannah believes that the crime scene was staged by Crowley's killer. He mentions a sliding glass door at Crowley's house that the police discovered slightly open. Okay, sure. I guess was really suspicious in Minnesota in the winter. Did they have a pet? If they had a pet, it would explain like something like, there's a million. That's a dumb reason to think somebody got murdered. Why? Well, the sliding glass door was slightly disturbed. Oh, dude, the officer got nuked. Shut the fuck up. 40 caliber gun, which is what the police found, is so loud that it would have woken up the whole neighborhood. Mind you, that is not necessarily true. For one, that depends on the neighborhood. For two, I think people are giving, people won't credit necessary. If everybody's asleep and it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and somebody's shot, the only person you really need to worry about at that moment in time, noticing, because if most people wake up because of a gunshot, they woke them up, they're not going to remember the gunshot itself, or if they didn't hear that in their dream or in reality. These theories are contradicted by Crowley's journal, which was given to me along with videos and recordings with the permission of Crowley's family by the filmmakers Eric Nelson, who produced Grizzly Man for Amy. I remember Grizzly Man. That bitch got eat. It was hilarious. Like people kept saying, "You don't want to go fuck with their betters," and he was like, "Me and my girlfriend will still go fuck with their betters." And I like, if you fuck with their betters, they might eat you one day. And he was like, "I don't need to worry. They know me. They're friends. They never eat us." Well, sure enough, he got eaten, and so did she. It was very violent. And they won't let me hear the audio. I kind of really want to hear it. That sounds fucked up, but I will. Nelson made a documentary about Crowley called A Gray State. So, yeah. Which will have its premiere in a few weeks. And Tribeca, blah, 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 blah. Get to the point, see. Out of all this news bullshit that they had to be able to put something in there that actually makes you go, about whether or not these killings were suicides or murders, all you have is a disturbed, partially, slightly open, sliding glass door. That's all you have. But mind you, I'm guessing people are always forgotten, and I'm not sure what the actual story is about who found them and stuff like that. Most people would go up to a house where something like that has happened, and they try to get in or knock on the front door, and usually they find it locked, right? So what happens next is they will go around the house looking for windows or something like that to look in, to peer in, or to get in. That would tell you that you could see what happened on the inside. Now, what if they got around, like I said, I'm not sure if they have a cat, a dog, or whatever like that, but you usually gotta have to let them motherfuckers out to go to the bathroom, okay? And upon doing so, maybe somebody didn't close the door all the way. I don't know. But that's why it's a dumb reason to say that for sure. You can't say, the reason because it was left partially open. How do you know that the person that found the bodies didn't find them by seeing them through the sliding glass door, opening it up, which, mind you, you idiots all know, right, that there's fairly easy ways to pick the lock on a sliding glass door to get into it, even if it is locked. But I'm guessing these people are just morons and they don't really know that. So yeah, there's quick and easy ways that you can take and get into a sliding glass door. That's why I commonly tell people if they have one at their house, they probably shouldn't, because it's a quick and easy way for them to get robbed. Because anybody that knows what the hell they're doing can get past that door in 2 minutes. The journal is dominated by Crowley's notes as he wrote Gray State what he wished for it to be, his anxieties about whether he could manage it, and the audience he imagined it would reach. He also wrote about his ambitions in general to have a screenplay by 2016 to be a millionaire by 2017. See, it's always about the fucking money. They're willing to gamble everything that they have and everything that they own for the chance of being rich. And when it falls apart or it doesn't work out, it's quite sad, sickening, and amazing to see what these people will do to secure that fact. Like, I'm going to kill somebody, but I'm not going to make it look like I killed somebody because, you know, my remaining living members and such. What? That's creepy as shit. Nice grab. Okay, you're gonna like this. Apparently, a teddy bear was found. I'm trying to find out where, but this is fucked up, y'all. So you might want to pay. I mean, anybody who's actually still listening might want to pay attention because somebody just found this. And upon hearing about it, no, I feel I have to tell y'all about it because I'm just fucking weird like that. But, holy shit! No, really? Wow, that's fucking weird, y'all. Holy hell. Yeah, I'm not sure who, if anybody's still listening, but this next story just I got was handed to me. Basically, it's pretty fucked up. Teddy bear believed to be wrapped in human skins found at Victorville gas station. You heard me. Victorville, California. A disturbing discovery at a Victorville gas station Saturday or Sunday afternoon has prompted a coroner investigation after a teddy bear, and I'm looking at the teddy bear. So if I'm being considerate, I don't think you can cover this. Wow, that's fucking weird. That's some like wow, that's like a do not kill cats kind of fucking psycho kind of shit right there. That I mean, I'm looking at the size of the bear and everything. It would probably require at least maybe as much skin as a human adult male or whatever would have on each leg, and then some. Like there's some Buffalo Bill shit going on here now. I mean, I see it from afar, but I can't. Yeah, can you give me a close up on that bear? Oh my god, it's a weird looking fucking bear. Yeah, there's something up with that fucking bear. But yes, apparently a teddy bear was found at a gas station in California, and it was covered in human skin. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, like Buffalo Bill kind of shit, yo. It's pretty fucked up. And the coroner and all that has been called in and stuff. Wow. Holy shit. How do you know it's human skin? I mean, couldn't it have been something else that looked like human kind? I don't know. Deputies responded to the Arco AM/PM in the 13600 block of Bear Valley. Check it out. It's at Bear Valley Road. Is the road that the bear was found on. You know, some smart fucking dumbass killer guy was just like, "This is brilliant. I'm going to put the bear at a gas station on Bear Valley Road." Right? Had to. Following a report of an object that appeared to be human remains, according to a written statement from San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department spokesperson Mara Rodriguez. Photos from the scene show the teddy bear sitting outside the storefront behind yellow crime scene. Oh my gosh. Witnesses described the bear as having a face-like piece sewn. Oh my god. Okay, y'all need to listen to this again. Witnesses described the bear as having a face-like piece sewn onto its head. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of looking at the bear from afar, right? And it does seem to have some weird shaped objects as part of its costume in the head area. And until I just read this part, I didn't understand what those might be, and now I'm actually thinking that it might be like nose or some, yeah, lips maybe. I don't know. The cops got there at 12:30 p.m. on July 13th, 2025, following a report of an object that appeared to be human remains, according to a written statement. Yeah. A face like peas. Oh man, that's fucked up. And that's way more than the head skin's worth. So there's like, ugh. The coroner's got the item. While the object's true origin has not yet been confirmed, a similar looking teddy bear made with fake gore. Oh, well, that's true. Apparently, there is a teddy bear on Etsy. Yeah, on Etsy right now. Has a similar looking teddy bear for sale that was made with fake gore and labeled as a human skin teddy bear. Was, on Etsy. That discovery has led some to speculate that the incident may have been a staged prank or art piece. Lame. As of Sunday afternoon, authorities have not verified the material or released further details. The investigation remains ongoing. The gas station never closed. Oh, I guess it reopened once the coroner came and get the shit at like 2 o'clock. There apparently was like 40 plus cameras. It's made out of latex. The artist Robert Kelly of Dark Seed Creations specializes in horror, special effects, and haunted attractions. He confirms he shipped one of the bears to a customer in Victorville last week. If you're curious, the human skin teddy bear sells for $100. Yeah, so basically it's all bullshit. Somebody bought one of this guy's Franken teddies and placed it down there and just to see how people would freak out or whatever. And yeah, that sucks. I was hoping for a better story than that. Well, I gotta go yell at fish. Lame. It's not a real human skin covered teddy bear. That's lame. That kind of killed my bubble for the day. So. Somebody messaged me? Who messaged me? The Zizians are wild, super techie misfits who got too deeply in their heads and ideology. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. I think it's the alphabet game. It's the alphabet game. It's pressure that's keeping the cult. Pressure keeping the cult out of the public eye and making people not talk about it. But on those trials, if they're televised, I'll be watching that shit. Who's typing time and everything else? I'm not popular all the time. There's nobody in this room. All right, yeah, that's enough for now. It's hot. I'm going to turn back the air conditioner and stuff on. Well, I mean, if you want to do me a favor, you can die in a fire. I'm just kidding, obviously, but Try to have a nice day and stuff. I'll probably be back later on tonight to talk about something, or maybe later on today or something. I have no idea. Basically, I do what the hell I want when the hell I want. And I'm bored often, so it is what it is. And it's an hour and a half. You got something. So you can't say all the time that the only time I broadcast is fucking late at night. See, no. I mean, I could have done more, but honestly, I wasn't really deciding whether or not I was going to go live. I just decided to go live. I said, fuck it. But yeah, I'm kind of, that's a bit of a downer, man. I was really hoping the teddy bear with the human skin was real. That fucking sucks. Well, anybody that's mad, blame big fish in a small pond. She lied to us all. Yep. Just kidding. But yeah, talk to you all later.